Recording in progress.
Hello, everybody. How are we all doing? Sasha here. Thank you for tuning in, and hello to all my new subscribers. And got to thank everybody. I wasn't expecting so many people to get involved in the conversation, but it is great to have you all here. So I wanted to pop in and let everybody know why the part three of the Essex saga that I put up, that I know a lot of you did watch before it went up. I could actually tell you how many. Shall I tell you how many people watched it before it got struck down by somebody? So yeah, if you have just tuned in and you don't know what I'm talking about, I have been talking about the Essex saga. Hold on, let me turn my phone off. I've been talking about what went on in 1995 and the whole Essex saga. And I put a part three of the story up on YouTube. And I'm just getting it up now, view my channel. No, I only use YouTube. No, we don't want me talking. No, 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 no. Here we go. Should get these things. So I've changed it. It's now called Who Was It? But it is still, I believe, blocked in the UK. It was called Was It Bomb? And 1,769 people have watched it up till now. There's been 43 comments. But I do believe it is now blocked in the UK. So you cannot watch that part three in the UK on YouTube. If you're outside of the YouTube, you can. Outside YouTube. Outside of the UK, you can watch it. So I was like, I've had a few people hit me up going, "Where's part three? You're just teasing me." I'm like, I'm not teasing you. There's a problematic person. And this problematic person does keep uh trying to strike people on YouTube. Now, I have been struck for a possible privacy violation. Privacy. So I have disputed that, and it has only been blocked in the UK. But I have disputed that, and I have put in a legal reply. So because when people are in the public eye, i.e., when you go on YouTube, that puts you in the public eye. You start doing a podcast, that's it. But when you are talking about a particular subject and going on television and YouTubes and podcasts and putting things out in the press, talking about a particular subject and actually writing books, which we know this particular person has been writing books and all kinds of stuff about this particular case, then you can say their name. There's no restrictions on privacy. And so I have appealed that to the powers that be at YouTube. However, as many of you may know already, and some may not, but YouTube, well, the censorship on YouTube is pretty graphic, pretty hardcore. There's not an awful lot we can say against the official narratives that are out there. And those official narratives, I came into understanding about how restrictive YouTube are when I put a podcast up about one of my DJs who got stage four lymphoma cancer and then cured it with cannabis. That is his story. That is his entitlement to free speech, and I shared it with the world. It's a true story. It actually happened, and I got a violation thing from YouTube saying that I went against the WHO's narrative. The Who's narrative. Hmm. Would I be right in saying that is Anthony Fauci's narrative? Hmm. Yeah, so well, I would like to dispute his narrative, but anyway, so this is why YouTube is a lot harder on censorship and mainstream narrative. And when you've got manipulative bullies that are trying to control the narrative, shut down truth, and deflect suspicion from themselves, then you will find that they are hell bent on the keyboard warrior style, in the true narcissistic fashion, to attack anybody, including women, children, and anybody, to control that narrative. And I'm not, I'm not down with that, you know? So yeah, that's where we've been at so far. So I am going to put the part 3 up on my iStream Rumble channel, because Rumble, they're all about free speech and we love that. So yeah, I know there's lots of people on YouTube, but come over to the Rumble channel, part 3. If you want to watch it, I'm going to put it on there. If you've got no idea what I'm talking about when it comes to part 3, then go and watch part 1 and 2 on my YouTube channel, on this YouTube channel, which I'm talking to now. And it is regarding what happened to me back in 1995, on 3rd of November 95, and how I came to be raided for drugs by Essex police. It was a drugs raid, it was a drug sting. There were a few different people raided, including me, on the same night. I was an innocent 21-year-old barmaid, innocent, innocent, having fun, but I was definitely not a drug dealer. There's no drug dealing going on at my house. And so there was absolutely no reason why I should have been raided. And people that are putting out manipulative and completely false and untrue narrative to try to get people that are actually innocent of the crimes that they are stating that they have done. And when they are putting that out, that is very, very, very dangerous indeed. I do not take it lightly. Back then, I was 21 years old and I didn't know what I know now. But now I am a much stronger, wiser, matured 50-year-old woman. And yeah, I see I see through things an awful lot easier. And it is one thing saying if somebody was putting my name forward and my house and my address forward as somewhere that there was drug dealing going on from. Because believe you me, the police do not raid people for just doing a couple of pills on a Saturday night with your mates in the house. So if somebody, which I am very highly suspicious of, was putting my name forward and trying to get me into trouble and trying to get us youngsters into trouble, um, an older person that may have very bad intentions, doing that and completely manipulating the narrative and making up things that are completely untrue is very, very dangerous when they're very convincing. And the people at the other side may be convinced or may want to believe them, or what, for whatever reason, they may believe their narrative. Now, this can get people like Steele and Holmes into serious trouble. And it has. And the what has gone on since, and I'm talking about the two men that went down for the murder of the Essex boys. Now, I we are all entitled to our own opinions, and from the evidence that I've seen, from everything I know, from what has gone on, I 100% do not believe that those two guys were the guys that shot those three lads dead in a Range Rover in Rettendon. It's just not feasible. It's not plausible for my perspective and what I know and what I see. And so somebody that is possibly making up narratives about myself and going, they're drug dealing, they're drug dealing, they're drug dealing. I'm not doing anything. No, I just want to help you catch bad people and criminals. Mm. So if there is certain people or possible people doing this, and they're doing it to me and other people, prior to the, 4 or 5 weeks prior to Leah Betts's death, prior to the media explosion, and if certain people could be possibly informing, and putting names forward for lots of people, then you would begin to wonder why they were doing that. And if you were a intelligent detective, the clue is in the operative word there, detective, and you've got to detect things. So you can listen to people, but you have to have some kind of level of intelligence and level of detective work. And so if somebody is saying that person and that person and that person and that person and thinks they know it all, and these allegations prove to be particularly, uh, how should I put it? Well, completely untrue or not based on any evidence or actual truth, then that is a very, very dangerous position for everybody to be in, because then innocent people, or innocent of the crimes that they are being accused of, at the very least, can go to prison, and these things shouldn't happen. I feel very, very strongly about it. I do know that there's an awful lot of perpetrators that are walking the streets getting away with their crimes. And that's all kinds of crimes, because generally criminals, in my experience, are really bad ones. It's crime after crime after crime after crime, and all kinds of horrible ones. So these kind of perpetrators are getting away with their crimes because they are quite often narcissistic, and they will stop at nothing to control the narrative. And they will also stop at absolutely nothing to make themselves look amazing and make them look like, oh, I'm the good guy, really, and I'm just looking after my family. And it's just very see-through in this day and age, I'm afraid. Now, something I am noticing throughout my life, and it's not just with this Essex case, and you can get kind of really passionate about this kind of outrageous behavior, and people being allowed to get away with it. And this can go on for a long time. And this has, we are 29 years down the road from the death of Leah Betts and the death of the three Essex boys. A lot of money and a lot of things have been said. But one thing I do know is the truth always outs in the end. It's universal. It is because of the love and the faith that we have in each other, that people do come together, and we share stories, and we realize that the people that are causing all the problem or controlling the narrative in serious investigations, whether it be death, whether it be abuse, whether it be serious crime, some people that are sticking their neck out to control the narrative are more often than not very, very convincing and believable liars. And it is a personality disorder. Narcissistic disorder is something that they believe, maybe it's 10% of the population. I went and saw my doctor, and she said that, yeah, 10%, that's what my my GP. Not that I believe her or anything, but that's what she said as to is unfortunately part of our social society. We are dealing with an awful lot of narcissism. And I have dealt with an awful lot of narcissistic abuse. It is all kinds of triggering, all kinds of gaslighting, all kinds of untrue allegations, untrue accusations uh, that are just preposterous most of the time. But they're so preposterous that people are like, and that's what a narcissist knows. They know they love the drama, they like the shock, and they really do feed on that energetic supply that is given. So I'm all about narcissistic abuse awareness and understanding that these kinds of characters can cause serious harm and serious damage to us all. This is not just about this is definitely not about a war of words or anything like that in the Essex Saga or with anything else that's going on in my life. Because I have got some serious, serious stuff going on in my life, which has been incredibly difficult to deal with. And the Essex boys' murders, they were a lot of people's brothers. And for whatever they were doing, we're all brothers and sisters at heart. I truly believe that. And I also believe in the fact that our soul lives on. And that even though we do lose our physical form, that some kind of weird noise coming from outside. Anyway, maybe it's the spirits. Even though we lose our physical form, I do believe that our soul and our soul consciousness does live on, and that we are one. And that soul consciousness is the oneness within us. It is the divine spirit within us all. And this is why universal love and truth does bring these truths out. So even though people do often get away with some really, really bad skullduggery, thievery, abuse, all kinds of things, for long periods of time, karma is real. I truly believe that. And karma is a bitch if you are bad. That's right. That's why I know it is the law of cause and effect. And so this is a much more important and a much more wider conversation than just anybody fighting in the playground. And I say that in the nicest possible way. People's lives have been damaged. The two guys that went to prison, one still in for the murders that have clearly been scapegoated. And I know what being scapegoated is all like, exactly what it's like. And I would not just say I'm guilty either. You know, it's a true thing, and you're not going to admit to a murder that you didn't commit. So these guys need to be pardoned, and I do believe that Essex Police need to reopen this case as quickly as possible to ensure that what information they've been given and to make sure the right people are questioned, especially when there is so much police corruption. However bad that is, the Essex Police are much better, and the police system and the IOPC as a whole are much better to go. There were some people doing some things wrong here, and quite clearly there was an awful lot of corruption and taking the wrong information from the wrong people. And how deep that corruption goes, I don't know. But unless those corrupt police officers are still there, then there shouldn't be any reason as to why they should not want to reopen this and make sure that there isn't people still sitting in jail for crimes they didn't commit. No, I've had an awful lot of false allegations made against me personally in the last 4 years. And significantly for me, it is practically 4 years to, well, 4 years to the day, 4 years tomorrow, that my brother-in-law, my husband's brother, disclosed historic sexual abuse, that he was assaulted and abused sexually from the age of 10 to 13. He disclosed this to Sussex police on the 4th of May 2020. 6 months later, he was found dead in highly suspicious circumstances. I am 100% sure that he did not kill himself. And I've been scapegoated since. My husband has also been scapegoated, and scapegoating can be premeditated. You know, this is a premeditated framing exercise to get rid of people that you don't want around. And that's unfortunately how malignant narcissism at its worst works. People with this kind of disorder, they have no compassion, no empathy, no love, no care. And it's a deep disorder, I believe. Well, it is. And the kind of world expert on narcissism that's just wrote a book, It's Not You, Dr. Romani, if you would like to know more about the narcissistic personality disorder and how it affects, she's brilliant. And I highly recommend her. So yeah, that's what's going on. And I'm still in a scapegoating position. I've been blamed for my brother-in-law's death, unbelievably. I'm really lucky that I or my husband have not ended up falsely uh, in a worse position than we are right now, or falsely in prison, because there are people in prison that haven't shouldn't be there, and there's lots of people on the streets that should be locked up. And I know a good few people that I can think about right here, right now, and particularly the narcissistic abusers, who sexual deviants, um, deniers, and people that have done bad things and they've never accepted them themselves, even, and deny reality. And it's just the worst thing that innocent victims experience. Being sexually abused, being assaulted, being treated really badly in childhood is bad enough. So when it carries on or happens further on in adulthood, what was bullying in the playground becomes just full-blown abuse in adulthood, and the police do nothing. What the fuck are we all supposed to do? That's where I get to. I'm not very happy with the police, as you can tell. I think everybody knows that if you have been watching my videos about the Essex saga. Essex police really screwed up in this whole investigation and this whole thing. And the whole police force has been screwing up really, really badly for the last 30 years. And yeah, there's some good officers, I'm sure. But it's so bad, and none of us are safe when the police are so bad in our society. I never understood how bad it was until my brother-in-law disclosed child sexual abuse, and everything went really Pete-tong from there onwards, i.e. the way they have dealt with that and what's happened since is catastrophic, life-changing, damaging, and unquantifiable, and could have easily been avoided. And that's the hardest thing to deal with. So anyway, what I wanted to tell you regarding the part 3 for the Essex saga is it is going up on my Rumble channel, and I will put it up on Rumble tonight. And I'm wishing everybody a great weekend. It is bank holiday weekend in the UK. It's May Day, and tomorrow it is Star Wars Day. May the force be with you, light workers and lovers. I love you all. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for supporting me. And peace out.